Welcome to Menopause and Miracles, where we have honest conversations about the beautiful, messy, and miraculous journey of midlife. Because miracles aren't just found in life's biggest moments, they're often hidden in the everyday courage to keep showing up, trust yourself, and create a life you truly love. Those everyday moments that challenge us, change us, and ultimately lead us back to ourselves. I'm Suzanne, your host and your midlife wingwoman, and today we're talking about something that may sound surprisingly simple, but I think it might be one of the greatest miracles available to us: play. And the timing is perfect post July 4th holiday. Summertime is here and it's the season of play. Now, before you think or say out loud, Suzanne, I have bills to pay, hormones to manage, aging parents, kids, work, dating apps, and laundry, stay with me because I don't think women lose themselves because they get older. I think we do lose some parts of ourselves because we've stopped playing. And somewhere along the way, life stopped being something we experienced and became something we managed. And that's worth repeating. When did that happen for you? For some women, you've been managing things for a very long time since you were young. For other women, maybe it started when you got married and then had children. As a single woman, it's simply managing everything yourself and so on. And we can all relate to things shifting. And I realized recently that I'd become incredibly efficient at life. Heck, who am I kidding? I always have been. And for me, efficient is being responsible or adulting somewhat well. My calendar is full with commitments or appointments. My goals are clear and I'm checking off all the boxes. But when I asked myself, Suzanne, when was the last time you just played without an agenda or every detail being planned out? And that caught me off guard because it's been a really long time. I have an agenda for almost everything. Don't you? And I honestly had to think about it. I plan out my fun, but I don't make time to play. And that's when I realized I'd become very good at living responsibly, but I'd forgotten how to live playfully. And I'm talking about how about waking up to the day and thinking of some way or one thing you can playfully do with your day. Again, not the planned fun I've added to my calendar like pickleball, a concert, or a comedy show. I am talking about the spontaneous, wanderlust, see where the hour, or if I give myself, or a day, if I'm really feeling rebellious, takes me kind of energy. More freedom, wonder, play. This is episode 58, The Miracle of Play. The dictionary defines play to engage in an activity for enjoyment and recreation rather than for serious or practical purpose. Who knows? I can take my fun way too seriously sometimes. But now the way I look to define it in midlife is play is giving yourself permission to experience joy without needing to earn it. As midlife women, we don't need another productivity hack. We need permission to play again. And we've definitely earned it if that mattered. There's that fine line again when things shift in midlife where we suddenly have so many new things to manage. We're managing before careers, households, and families. Now, midlife, throw menopause or both on top, can have us managing just ourselves like a project. There's hormones to manage, sleep to manage, supplements, weight to manage, joint pain, brain fog, and you add on to that list. And suddenly life is becoming about optimization. And what disappears? Still, wonder, curiosity, play. And ironically, those are the very things that help our nervous systems regulate. So let's bring them back. And no wonder I was such a stressed out adult grinding or striving away when I had so much less of play in my life. So the great thing is that play, you can tie it into so many different areas of your life and just choose one that's calling to you to start. You can tie playfulness into dating. Many women date like they're conducting job interviews instead of, is this my future husband or partner or whatever you're looking for? Ask yourself, what would dating look like if I treated it like play instead of, will he like me? Ask things like, what can I discover tonight about myself, about the other person? Ask, how do I want to enjoy myself? How do I want to show up? Just less seriousness about something that you can turn into a playful time, and think about what experience you want to have in your time together. One of my favorites is what my friend always reminds me to ask: how did they make me feel? Which is more about how you felt being in their presence and spending time together, not that the other person is responsible for your feelings. Did you feel heard, seen, light, or playful, and so on? Totally changes the energy you bring and put out, how you show up when you bring playfulness with you. You can also add playfulness into friendships. Adults should be having playtime. What if instead of another dinner with a friend that you're adding to your calendar, you learned pickleball together. You took a pottery class. You went paddle boarding. Summer is the best time to get out and have fun. Visit a town you've never been to or an area of your town you've never really looked at before or checked out. Miniature golf. Laugh until your stomachs hurt over some rosé. And I just went to a comedy show with a friend, and it was so refreshing to change it up just from having dinner. And adults, again, we're used to scheduling meetings, scheduling time with family, scheduling time for your kids. Let me see where I can fit you in on my calendar. And it's typically meet for coffee or dinner. Well, children schedule adventures, and maybe midlife is a time when we also need more adventures. I don't think it's a maybe. I think it is a must have. And so, a little neuroscience of behind play. Play is one of the fastest ways to lower stress, increase creativity, and deepen relationships. And remind yourself you're alive. Who doesn't want that in midlife? Number one, play calms your nervous system. So, as adults, especially women in midlife, our nervous systems can get stuck again, like we've been talking about, that doing mode. And right, we're managing careers now, aging parents, finances, relationships, health changes, menopause. Are you tired just hearing me talk about this and everyone else around us in your life? So it definitely feels like more managing, but play interrupts the pattern. And so when you laugh, explore, create, dance, or become fully immersed in something enjoyable, your brain shifts out of constant vigilance and your body receives the message, I am safe. And I'm sure there's other calming messages it receives. And a friend of mine just shared that she went to a concert in the park for an 80s night with some of her friends, and just how much fun they had dancing away, probably like nobody was watching. And that matters because you can't heal, connect, or think creatively, I can't even say that word, when your brain believes it's constantly under pressure. So again, if you're looking for healing, looking to connect, looking to be more creative, and you're wondering why you can't, your body and your brain is probably still a little more in fight or flight and constantly under the pressure of the to do. So, play isn't the opposite of productivity per se. It's really the reset button that allows us to show up better for everything else. Like when you need to shut down your phone or your laptop when it needs a little reboot. Secondly, play boosts the brain's feel good chemistry. So think about instead of needing to take more supplements in midlife, when you play, the brain releases chemicals that help us feel engaged and connected. And if you're like me, I've been desiring more connection in my life, especially in midlife. And maybe it doesn't come all from being with another person, whether a partner, a friend, but putting yourself simply in places to play, and these include you get dopamine, which fuels motivation and curiosity and learning and anticipation. You get the endorphins being in play, which help reduce pain and increase feelings of pleasure. And then the oxytocin, especially when we're playing or connecting with others, it deepens that trust and connection that we're craving. So that's one reason you can spend 2 hours laughing with a friend and leave feeling lighter than when you arrived. And nothing in your circumstances may have changed, but your brain did. And play increases cognitive flexibility. Midlife is filled with transitions, as we know, and we repeat and we talk about careers changing, retirement, empty nesting, divorce, dating again, menopause, changing identities. So, play really helps the brain practice flexibility. Instead of thinking, "Oh, there's only one right answer," your brain begins asking, what else is possible? And play also fuels creativity. So your brain forms new connections when you're curious and you're trying new things. And ironically, some of your best ideas don't arrive when you're forcing it. And I'm sure you have an example where you're trying to get an answer, trying to get something done, and it's just not working. So, some of the answers and some of the things show up while you're walking on the beach, gardening, painting, traveling, even if it's a day trip, laughing with friends. Your brain needs the white space. Play helps you create it. And play strengthens resilience as well. Research consistently shows that people who are regularly experiencing joy, humor, and positive emotions recover more effectively from stress. And who doesn't love that? It doesn't eliminate, say, a hardship, but it does increase your capacity to move through it. And that's why play isn't denial of anything that's going on. It's really resilience training and allowing you to bounce back or to handle something that you're going through that might be too much. And why does this matter even more during menopause? Because many women describe menopause as becoming a little bit of a stranger to oneself. The body's changing, energy's changing, sleep is changing, confidence is changing, and some women stop recognizing the woman in the mirror. And I think we've all had that moment for different reasons. It could be menopause, it could be midlife, it could be too much on your plate and just never taking a break or a pause. So play gently reconnects us with our identity, not the identity of a job or a role, not our weight, not our relationship status, but our essence. The playful woman is still there. She hasn't been invited out to play for a while. And that's why I'm here today to remind us that think of your brain like a snow globe. And every day we're shaking it with responsibilities, stress, schedules, and so many decisions. But play is the moment, and it's sometimes it's just a moment where you need to see, let the snow in the globe settle down. And then you can finally see clearly again what's in there and maybe what's calling to you. And maybe that's why so many of us women, we're craving more than a vacation. We're not just tired, we may be undernourished in joy. And I just had coffee with a friend today after we laid by the pool and getting some playtime. And she was sharing all the shifts that she's gone through for midlife so far: empty nesting, relationship ending, a father passing, and much more. And then add midlife and menopause on top. And she shared she's exhausted from all these shifts and turns. And I'm sure many women can relate to that, or parts of that. And she shared she just wanted to go dancing. And so up pops an email in my inbox today for a new kind of rave called Mommy Rave. I think it's www. Did I give too many W's there? www.mommyrave.com. And literally just down the street from my house. And I live in the burbs. So it's a sign when a rave is in the burbs, 5 minutes from my house and within reasonable midlife hours. So we said yes. And again, midlife women have become so good at managing life that sometimes we've forgotten how to experience it. And maybe that's one of the greatest invitations of midlife, not to become a different woman, but to rediscover the parts of ourselves that responsibility slowly covered up or slowed down. So, if you're looking for a summer challenge that does not involve slimming down for a bikini bod, but makes you feel even better, I want to challenge you right now on your phone, a napkin, a notepad. If you're driving, wait till you're not, to write down your summer playlist. I am challenging you to do 10 playful things before Labor Day. So, examples if you need them, but I would really prefer if you write down what comes top of mind for you. Eat ice cream for dinner once, or I always love breakfast for dinner too. Watch a sunset, dance barefoot somewhere, anywhere. It could be the concerts in the park, it could be your own backyard. Buy some flowers for yourself. Maybe buy them for yourself and a friend. Go somewhere without GPS. Read fiction again. Try a new hobby and not just think about a hobby you want to try. Actually do it, even if it's just for a couple hours. Say yes to an invitation. Call the friend who makes you laugh. Get in the ocean, or at least just put your feet in it. This is not because you have to type of challenge. This is because you want to, and that's exactly how midlife women should be spending their time, doing things that light them up because they want to. Schedule a darn play date for yourself if you have to. Put a little more play into your everyday. Let this be the summer season that teaches you that maybe the miracle isn't finding the perfect relationship or finally losing the weight or figuring out your 5-year plan. Maybe the miracle is remembering that somewhere inside you is the woman who used to laugh without checking the time, dance without wondering who was watching, and said yes before she knew exactly how everything would turn out. She's still in there, and this summer might just be her invitation to come out and play. Again, when was the last time you did something simply because it delighted you? Not because it was healthy, not because it was productive, not because it looked good on Instagram or Facebook, just because it made you smile. I hope today's episode reminded you that play isn't something we leave behind in childhood. It's something we carry with us if you're willing to make room for it. If there's one thing I hope you take away, it's this: your life isn't meant to be managed every minute of every day. It's meant to be experienced. You don't have to earn joy, wait until everything is perfect, or finish your to do list before you allow yourself to laugh, explore, and feel fully alive. Sometimes the most courageous thing you can do is simply say yes to delight. And if this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to like, follow, or subscribe. Better yet, leave a review and let me know what playful adventure you're saying yes to this summer. And if you have any questions or you want to share a story, you can always reach me at yourmidlifewingwoman@gmail.com. If you know a woman who's been carrying the weight of the world or just plain exhausted by it all and could use a little reminder that joy is still waiting for her, share this episode with her. You never know how much someone might need that permission to come out and play. And until next time, remember, miracles aren't always the big, life changing moments. Sometimes they're found in the smallest choices: taking the scenic route, saying yes to the invitation, laughing until your cheeks hurt, or choosing wonder over worry. Those moments don't just brighten your day, they bring you back to yourself. I'm Suzanne, your midlife wing woman, and this is Men, Menopause, and Miracles. Until next time, keep believing in miracles, keep choosing yourself, and don't forget to make room for a little more play. I'll see you next time, and bye for now.